Damn. Welcome back. You guys are locked into a brand new episode of that. Come on,
brand
baby.
New LCP.
I don't gotta say, y'all already know what fucking time it is, man. It's been a long fucking summer now. You know, the goal would be to come on and have a nice, calm, relaxed podcast, but we are halfway through the fucking summer, and the bullshit, the fuckery is in full swing. I mean, we got a fucking stacked docket today. Normally I say stacked, but we got a stacked docket today, man. We got Astronomer CEO Andy Bowen, whatever the fuck his name is. He got caught at a Coldplay concert on Kiss Cam with his arms wrapped around a lady from HR named Kristen, and he's married. The woman, Kristen, she's also married. So we're going to dive into some of that shit. I got voicemails in relation to that because, as you guys know, when we have these topics, when some of these topics come up, I like to take it off the viral notion of it, and I like to know what you guys think. If your partner got caught on Kiss Cam, the shit went viral, so now your coworkers, your friends, your family, and most importantly, you. When you see that shit happen, how would you feel? Because some people are more tolerant when it comes to cheaters. Some people, you know, they get cheated on and they go back. But somebody like myself, I've been cheated on in the past before. And when I tell you, I skedaddled out that motherfucker. Clap it up for me, bitch. If you cheat on me, we done, motherfucker. Okay, but matter of fact, let me see. Should we start there? Or matter of fact, we're going to start with, remember a couple months ago, man, I spoke about Southern University, how they had the, I believe they had a chapter of the Omega Psi Phi. And a brother by the name of, rest in peace, Caleb Wilson, he got punched in the chest as he was trying to make this chapter of the Omega Psi Phi. Now, you know, the school, Southern University, thankfully, they expelled the chapter of that Omega Psi Phi. Get them motherfuckers out this bitch. You guys who have been fans of the podcast from day one know that I am against hazing. Fuck hazing. If I want to join your fucking frat, I should not have to fucking sleep outside. Don't punch me in the chest. Don't punch me in the head. Give me my fucking shirt, bitch. But let's dive into the news story real quick as that chapter got expelled. So talk to me. Talk to your boy, man.
A months-long investigation into the hazing death of Southern University student Caleb Wilson coming to a close tonight. The university officially announcing the expulsion of the fraternity on campus.
The university making this decision after having hearings on whether the Beta Sigma chapter violated the student code of conduct, and that includes hazing. Louisiana First News reporter Deshaun Johnson is joining us in studio now. Deshaun, you've been covering the investigation from day one. What does it mean for the organization?
Get him out of here.
Yeah, Christina, Andre, this move strips the Beta Sigma chapter of Omega Psi Phi fraternity of many of the rights it has on campus. As you may remember, Southern University engineering student Caleb Wilson was allegedly killed in a hazing ritual back in March. Wilson was in the process of becoming a member of that fraternity. The three men police say were involved in Wilson's death, Caleb McCray, Isaiah Smith, and Kyle Thurman, were expelled from the fraternity after turning themselves into the police. The university says after conducting the hearings, they found the chapter.
A months-long
We're going to clap it up. Clap it up. Get them motherfuckers out of here. Now, somebody... Well, matter of fact, before we move on, if you have sons, daughters, nieces, nephews, and they are joining the frat, sorority, whatever they want to do, man, let them know that do not be a victim of hazing. Now, you know, I spoke about this time and time again. I've had interviews on the podcast about that where, you know, it's people where sometimes they do the craziest, the wildest shit simply to make that chapter. Please do not make yourself become a victim of that, okay? Now to keep it going down the line, like I said, Andy Byron, he is the CEO of Astronomer. He was out at a Coldplay concert, got comfortable with his side piece, somebody who he worked with, as they say, yo, work bae. Now, I spoke about this before where, you know, again, not all, but a lot of people have a work bae, a work boo. And again, that is not always somebody who you are sleeping with. That might be somebody who you are fond of at your job. That could be a lady who's fond of a man. It can be a man who's fond of a woman at his job. He might bring her breakfast and snacks and shit. So again, it don't always mean that you're fucking. But sometimes when you get too comfortable, and now you have to deal with the consequences of what you decide to do. So now the woman who shot that kiss cam video that went viral, she was on Inside Edition and she spoke out. So let's take a second. Let's sit back. Let's see what she had to say. And then I'm going to come back. We're going to dive into, I think, a couple voicemails I got in relation to how would you react if you seen your partner was caught on kiss cam, wherever the fuck she was at, he was at, and it went viral. So we're going to take a step back. This is Inside Edition. Talk to your nigga. Come on.
Action to the story everyone's talking about. The CEO caught on kiss cam at a Coldplay concert, snuggling with his head of human resources. Today, there are serious questions whether they will be forced to leave their jobs. Allison Hall has the latest.
Either they're having an affair or they're just very shy.
The woman who shot that now infamous Coldplay kiss cam that caught two executives apparently cheating is speaking out to Inside Edition. 28-year-old Grace Springer was at the concert at the Gillette Stadium in Boston and captured the moment that has now been viewed 53 million times.
I could have never guessed that it would be such high-profile individuals in the video. I do feel sorry for their partners and spouses that they had to find out this way.
Do you think if they had not tried to hide, Coldplay would have moved on?
100%. I think if they acted natural, no one would have thought twice. What a cute couple. I mean, I'm sure people in their inner circle might have caught something, but I definitely wouldn't have posted that video if the reaction wasn't the way that it was.
We're going to continue to expand globally.
Andy Byron, CEO of a billion-dollar AI company, and Kristen Cabot, his head of human resources, were seen shrinking in panic at the concert. He's married with teenage children. Kristen Cabot has been divorced for 3 years. She was hired just 8 months ago. And now that 15 seconds of video is having a devastating impact on both of their lives. The New York Post front page headline, Dumbotron. I spoke with workplace expert Stephen Viscusi.
This requires, to me, not one, but 2 resignations.
Fortune magazine is predicting severe consequences for the company's culture, reputation, and financial stability.
Oh, look at these two.
Parodies and memes are flooding social media.
Oh, look at these two.
All right, come on. You're okay?
Byron's wife isn't laughing. She's scrubbed her social media.
I think cheating is an abomination, okay? And this man has a wife, he has children, these kids are going to have to watch and see this. They don't look, I would be devastated if I was his wife.
You do have to think about the children and the spouses. We're all laughing about it, but they're all families and stuff.
There are a lot of damage.
I want to clap it up. Man, because, well, first of all, man, his wife, like, I can't imagine, man, they have multiple kids, you're home, you're comfortable, and I can't imagine how she found out about this. She might have been comfortable, she might have been cozy, she might have just been chilling, and now you got to deal the after effects of that. So like I said, once that popped up, I'm like, you know what? Let me pose the question to at least get a response or two about how would you react if your partner, your boo, your wife, your husband got caught on fucking kiss cam. Got caught on kiss cam. How would you react? So let's dive into some of those messages right now so we can kind of weave in between the story and kind of take it beyond the headlines. So how would you react, my brother, if your girl got caught on kiss cam, snuggled up to a nigga that's not you? Talk to your boy.
Man, it's interesting because I'm a really private person as far as my relationships go. If my girl was caught on a kiss cam in public with some guy all hugged up, honestly, man, I wouldn't be mad unless we were really invested in a life. Like we lived together, shared bills, shared bank accounts, things like that. Because then it's hard to break ties with a person like that. Otherwise, it's the information that you need, knowing that your girl is out there. I'm not necessarily going to be embarrassed by it, but it's definitely not something that I would wish on not on a man that's in love. If you're really in love with a girl and something like that happens, I can see how it could be horrible. But if you're, willing to move on and do what you have to do whenever you catch your girl cheating, it might be the best thing for you, because at least super quick, public, there's no disputing, there's no amount of lies or stories you can spin to save it. It just when it's like that and it's clear as day, I think it's 10 times better than just suspecting your girl's cheating with no proof.
Brand new LCP.
I want to clap it up, man, because he does bring up a great point. Going back to the CEO of Astronomer, now, of course, he's married with kids, and those two are living together. So like he said in the voicemail, and like in that type of situation, it's tougher to leave, because now you guys might have an apartment or house, and now both of you guys are on the mortgage, the apartment lease. So it's tough to simply say, you know what, I'm moving out, or hey, you get out, because it's not only yours. So I can understand where he's coming from, because in the past, when I got cheated on, I wasn't living with this woman. We didn't share bills. We didn't have nothing that me and her was both tied to. So as soon as she cheated, I was like, you know what? This ain't gonna work. It's over. I went my way and she went her way. In that type of scenario, it's easier to move on versus, as he said, now when you're living with somebody, you guys share a place, and it's tougher to move on in that scenario. So now let's keep it going down the line before we dive into some more topics. Sully, come on, talk to your boy. Stories with Sully. How would you feel? Yo, boo. Yo, baby. Somebody you bump skin with, somebody who you invested your time with, and she got spotted out at the Gucci Man concert or at the fucking Falcons game with somebody who don't look like you. Sully, talk to you.
What's up, man? So in regard to the married CEO and his executive HR director, whatever she was, messing around and getting caught on the kiss cam, that brings a smile to my face, right? It brings a smile to my face, because when I worked for the railroad, I had a nice management position. Life was going good. They had a big derailment that year. It cost the company like $1.8 billion. Executive management decided to take a look at where they can, reduce costs. And, going forward, 10% of management was laid off. I was part of that layoff. Damn. I was out of a job, right, for 8 months, trying to find something. Come to find out, just a few months later from me being laid off, the goddamn CEO of the railroad company I was working for is fired because he was fucking his CFO, the chief financial officer. Both of them married,
that motherfucker.
Right? And so when they got fired, I just couldn't help but think, damn, man, when they were sitting back thinking about all these ways to reduce costs, reduce spending, I bet the CFO that he was fucking didn't have her salary considered, right? She was never going to get let go because they had an improper relationship.
Yes, sir.
So whenever I see CEOs or just these big executive officers disgrace themselves because they can't keep it in their damn pants, it brings a smile to my face. I love to see
Jesus
it. I hope
Christ.
he gets full punishment. Let him get fired. Let him not be able to get another executive management job again because he clearly can't keep his motivation straight. Can't tell you how many times me working in labor relations, I had to fire someone because of an improper relationship on the job, right? Because of conduct unbecoming an employee. So it really does suck when you find out that the same people that are firing you for your behavior are also doing the same things with executive management, no less. So it's disgusting, and I'm glad he disgraced himself in front of camera. I hope his wife leaves him, takes more than half.
A bullshit? A bullshit?
Sully, tell me why you're mad. But he is 1,000% correct. I think every job I've had, again, whether it be when I was working at KFC, whether it be when I've had a job that's like, quote unquote, in a professional setting, motherfuckers fuck around. Bosses fuck the people that's under them. Like, again, yes, it's something that should not happen, but it happens. And so I can understand his frustration. Having a job, you getting laid off, not having a job for 8 months in this fucking climate, and now somebody else has their job security set in stone because they're fucking the person who is the boss. And that's why a lot of jobs don't really encourage that, because then you end up getting stuck in situations and scenarios like that. And it can be unfair because you could show up every fucking day, work 5 years straight, not miss a fucking day, stay extra, take time away from your family and everything, and not get the advancement that you should get, not get the pay raise that you should get, and somebody else can come in there, work for 6 months, start fucking the boss, and now get every fucking pay raise and perk that you should have got in the 5 years you've been at the job. That's a fucking fact. So I do understand, and I agree. The motherfucker should be gone. Fire that motherfucker. The fact that they that bold to be outside at the concert, I don't give a fuck if they didn't know that they was going to be on the fucking Kiss Cam screen. You are out there and you are fucking comfortable. But Sully, come on, keep talking. Tell me why you're mad.
Now that I got that personal rant out of the way, how would I respond if it happened to me? Right? If my girl is at a sporting event on a date in secrecy and gets caught on the Kiss Cam and it goes viral. I would like to say, obviously I would care, right? But I would like to say I would handle it just like any other time I've been cheated on, which is just, to let it go.
There you go.
When you get cheated on, it does hurt, but it's nothing but to your benefit, right? For you to find out so you can move on. So I would like to think I would just drop her, right? But the issue here is the shame and the embarrassment that comes along with not only your girl cheating, but your significant other going viral while she's cheating, right? So now everybody's picking on you. You're the face of embarrassment. People making memes out your ass, right? They're getting ready to Will Smith you, right? You're getting ready to get the Will Smith treatment after J-Lo's out, fooling around with every nigga underneath the sun, right? And that's what I think I would have a hard time dealing with, is just the shame that comes along with her expedites being exposed for the whole world to see. But again, if I can get over that, then hey, who cares, right? Because she cheated, and here's what it is. Hopefully.
That's a fact. That's a fact. So you guys out there, man, who are at work fucking your boss, fucking somebody under you, or just fucking somebody in general who you don't need to be sleeping with, stop it. Or if you're doing that, do not go out nowhere public, a concert, a fucking comedy show, because guess what? Everybody has cameras now. Like, it ain't 1997 to where you can go outside where you could do certain things and nobody gonna know you out there. There is a camera everywhere now. People have been exposed for cheating by fucking Ring doorbell cameras. There is a camera everywhere. So please keep that in mind, and we gonna keep it going. Let's go. This next one is tough, man. The legendary actor Malcolm Jamal Warner passed away on my birthday. My birthday was July 20th. I was relaxing. I was saying my prayers. I was reflective. Hold up, clap it up for my birthday, man. Now, I'm not the person who likes public attention for their birthday. So I'm never gonna come on IG with the fucking birthday countdowns and hey, it's my birthday. No, like, life is so short, and like, I'm so reflective and appreciative for every birthday. So I keep a lot of shit to myself. But on my birthday, man, Malcolm Jamal Warner passed away. We all know him, man. I grew up watching The Cosby Show. I'm only 36 years old, but I was watching The Cosby Show, because my mama watched it, because my grandma watched it. We all knew Theo, the iconic Theo. He was one of the kids on the show, and it was not just The Cosby Show. After The Cosby Show, he had multiple roles. I used to watch Malcolm and Eddie. Malcolm and Eddie was one of my favorite shows growing up. It was him and I believe it was Eddie Griffin. Recently, he was in The Residents. He was also in the show on Hulu called The Accused, and many, many, many more shows. So his career, his life evolved way outside of simply playing Theo Huxtable on The Cosby Show. But he was in Costa Rica on a family vacation. Now, the news stories and everything that's coming out, it's been a couple days since his passing. He was swimming with his 8-year-old daughter. He got caught in a bad riptide, a bad current. Now, I have a news clip queued up that I want to play for you guys because they give you guys more insight into what happened in more detail surrounding his drowning. But they said that the beach he was at, there was no lifeguard, there was nobody on duty, but there are multiple signs throughout that beach letting you know, hey, there is a chance you might drown on this beach. The currents are bad. They said that the signs are posted in English and Spanish, and, tragically he got caught up in him and his daughter got caught in a bad current, and, bystanders were able to rush out there and save the daughter, but they were not able to get to him before it was too late. So NBC News, talk to your boy. Give me some more details about the effort to save Malcolm Jamal Warner. A lifeguard is giving you information into what happened that day. So NBC, talk to your boy.
Officials say a dangerous rip current swept away Malcolm Jamal Warner. The Cosby Show star drowning in secluded paradise on Sunday.
What makes that beach so treacherous?
It's similar to other beaches where there are strong rip currents that are deceiving.
Mike Geist helps run a volunteer lifeguard organization here. He says while no lifeguards were on duty that day, Geist's friend, who happens to be a trained lifeguard, was there to surf and discovered Warner unresponsive in the water.
The first thing that they do is they bring him to the surface and give the emergency respirations.
Right there
in the water on the surfboard. And when he didn't respond to that, my friend rapidly took him into the beach, and they immediately began CPR.
These are the first things we saw when we pulled up to the beach. Signs in Spanish and English warning people about potentially hazardous conditions. This sign even giving a roadmap for how to escape a rip current. Costa Rica's Red Cross says they were able to rescue another man alive who was taken to a clinic in critical condition. Meanwhile, tonight, the outpouring continuing to grow.
Blue suede shoes, hit it.
One for the money, two for the show.
Raven Simone, who played Warner's niece on The Cosby Show, posting this emotional tribute.
He was the big brother. He was one of the most multifaceted, talented men. So gentle.
In a 2013 interview, Warner said his proudest achievement wasn't the hit sitcom, but building a life beyond The Cosby Show.
If I die tomorrow, I know I would go with a smile on my face.
And with that, Jesse joins us now live from Costa Rica. Jesse, officials say Warner's autopsy is now complete. It was completed this morning, according to authorities, Tom, and they say that it confirmed that Warner's drowning death was, in fact, an accident. Tom? Jesse.
Man, I want to clap it up one more time. Again, when I clap it up, I'm not clapping it up because I'm applauding this person passing away. I'm clapping it up because at 54 years old, 54 is young. 54 is young, especially when you look at life now and just how so many people keep themselves youthful as they age. He still looked great. I ain't gonna say pause. He was 54 years old. He took care of himself, was healthy. You could tell he wasn't a heavy drinker, wasn't on drugs. He took care of himself. He looked great still for his age at 54 years old, which is young. And the fact that he lived a healthy life, made a massive impact on the world, man, we got to clap it up again, man, because that's all I hope to do. Just make a massive impact on the world, through my energy, through the podcast, through being a good person, a father who is working endlessly to make sure his child has what he needs. And, it's tiring sometimes, man. It's tiring. But now, to move on, somebody who's more tired. Now, there was a viral story of a fast food employee who she was forced to run the entire restaurant by herself. Now, she lives in Columbia, South Carolina. I believe her name is Nakia Hamilton. Now, she was at a job. I think somebody else called out. Now, I don't know how many motherfuckers work at this job. For motherfuckers to call out and they left her there by herself, man. She was cooking. She was doing the drive-thru. She was doing the food prep. And she was doing the cleaning by herself. We gonna clap it up for Nakia, because damn, now, You know, I felt for her with the story because she said that, you know, and you guys are going to hear in the news clip, she said that, hey, you know, I have a criminal record, so it's not many jobs I can get. The person of this Burger King gave me a shot, so I was just working my ass off. But that's tough. That's tough, man. She got 3 kids that she's raising. But can you imagine? Like I worked at KFC for a couple months. And I can't imagine having to cook the shit in the kitchen, do the drive-thru, do the food prep, and clean everything at the end of the fucking day. But we gonna dive into the news clip because you guys need to hear some more of this bullshit. So Fox 57, talk to your boy because I know I couldn't do it. Nigga, if I'm telling you, when I worked at KFC, if everybody called out and the managers, hey, John, today you got to do everything by yourself, that probably would have been my first and my last day at the fucking job. And trust me when I tell you, I ain't lying, nigga.
Girl, stop. That's a lie.
It ain't a lie. Fox 57, talk to your boy.
Life and I work a lot, so I be having to provide for them, and I really don't be having time to spend with them, and it hurts me a lot.
Nakia Hamilton is a single mother of 3 here in Colombia. She works 12 hours plus to provide for her children, even if that means doing it all by herself at this Burger King on Broad River Road.
One of my employees just quit on me, and they ain't had nobody else to come in, so I had to work by myself, had to close by myself, had to do the dishes, do prep, do the floor, do front counter, drive-through. Though I end up shutting down drive-through and let people come in because it's too much trying to run and take orders and got to run back. So
y'all need to get her some help up in here because she busted her behind. She's doing everything she needs to do to make sure everybody is okay up in here.
In this TikTok video, you can see Hamilton working by herself, and thousands of people on social media had questions.
And then last night I closed again by myself last night. I finally got help today. And she been here since 11 o'clock. She about to close with us at 11. So we just ain't got no employees. Nobody want to work no more.
Still, even after what happened here that day, Hamilton says she's doing it all for her children and thanks her manager for giving her the job.
I wouldn't have no job because I do have a record. And it's hard to find a job with a record. And by grace of God, she gave me a job. So that's the only reason why I stayed for her.
Stay up to date with this story and more. Subscribe to our Watch Fox.
I want to clap it up, but also, man, I want to say shout out to the manager for giving her a job, but you need to get some more motherfuckers. Now, again, to get some more people, you might got to up the pay, man. I was driving past a McDonald's. Where was I going to? Oh, I was out of town for work. I was driving by a McDonald's in South Carolina, and it said, hey, come apply here, you know, highest pay or starting pay at $11.25. Boo, bitch. We are in 2025. Like, when I tell you, like, the price of some eggs is $7. It's no way you think somebody gonna survive, pay rent, take care of kids, pay bills, and then show up to work and work hard every fucking day for $11.25 a fucking hour. That's half the reason why motherfuckers can't keep a job or why people don't want to work, because you gotta pay them. You have to pay. Gas is going up and down. Food is going up. Rent is going up. Every time you got to fucking renew, everything is going fucking up. It's no way you think a motherfucker out here going to survive on $12, even $13 an hour. I remember when I was young and I was getting paid like fucking $6.50 an hour, and it was cool because it was like fucking 2001 and shit. So in 2001, getting paid $13 an hour, you was making some bread because the cost of living was lower. But getting paid $13 an hour now, working full time, you ain't paying shit. You ain't paying shit. And then with how food stamps and shit is now, half the time, if you're making $13 an hour working full time, you still can't pay your bills. You can't even qualify for fucking food stamps because you got to be making the fucking minimum wage, which is $7.25 an hour. Now, if you're making $7.25 an hour, I don't know where the fuck you gonna live outside of fucking finding a room in your mama basement. That's the fucking real shit about it. And again, not knocking nobody who's out there making $7.25 an hour, $11 an hour. I'm simply saying, you know, it is tough to survive, man. So we gonna clap it up one more time for old girl doing her thing, man. But it's a lot of shit going on. Like I said at the start of the episode, it's a lot of fuckery, man. There was a woman flying home from Miami to Chicago, and she was denied by Spirit Airlines. They said, you cannot get on this fucking flight because your shorts are too short. So now, hold on. Y'all know what time it is. This is that.
Brand new LCP.
Before I dive into the next topic, you guys out there, man, who stay showing love and support. Thank you again. You guys who want to support extra. My Cash App is $NYC Story 718. My Venmo is Lunchroom Chatterpod. I do everything independently by myself, editing the episodes by myself. When you hear the clips playing through the episode, I'm doing that shit in real time. I'm hitting play in real time. I'm editing everything on my own. So the sound quality sounds great. The sound bites mixed and mastered by your boy himself. I'm tapping everything in real time. I don't got a fucking studio support system. I am the studio support system. So you guys who support your boy, again, my Cash App is $NYC Story 718, and my Venmo is Lunchroom Chatterpod. Now let's get back to that chick in Miami. You flying on the airlines. Now she showed up. Look like the motherfucker got panties on. And again, there's a time and a place. You want to go to the bar, you want to go to the club, you at the crib chilling, you lounging around. By all means, wear what the fuck you want to wear. But when you step outside, and again, now in the world we live in now, 2025, social media has made it to where it's no longer a time and a place. Everywhere is the place. If I want to show up with no bra and my titties out and I'm going to a fucking school zone, I'm going to do it. If I want to go pick up my child and I got on fucking panties, I'm going to show up in panties. Nigga, there's a time in a fucking place. But let's dive into some of this news story, man, because she was on the news, man. It's a lot of fuckery. Like I said, man, if you show up to the airport and you got on some shorts that look like panties, you got your ass cheeks out, you got your fucking fupa and your coochie in everybody's face, then I think you need to go home and fucking change. But let's dive into the news story. Come on, CBS News.
Onto a Miami flight to Chicago.
She called us to look into what happened after she was told it happened because her shorts were too short. The incident escalating from there, landing her sister in jail overnight. CBS News Miami's Ted Scouten joins us live from MIA with new reaction from Spirit. Ted?
Yeah, we've been looking into this story all day after we got that phone call from that passenger. This all began as a sister's trip to Miami and ended with one of them in jail.
Need your boarding pass, please?
Tension at the ticket counter after Tanasia Grayer is told she can't board her flight home to Chicago. She reached out to us after it happened.
I'm right here. I'm telling you. I'm right here. You need to get out my face. You don't have to address me like that. You can say whatever you need to say from right there. You don't have to get in my face.
You don't get to tell me what to do.
And you don't get to tell me what to do. Okay, just say it from over there. And these is just regular shorts. This is how I walk through the airport. This is how I walk through the airport with these shorts on. With my robe. This is exactly how I had my clothes.
It all started when Grayer said she was denied boarding because of her outfit. She's wearing the same thing today because her luggage made it onto the flight even though she didn't. She also tells us she wore similar shorts when she flew to Miami on Sunday.
We were getting ready to board the plane, and the lady at the front desk, she stopped me and said, "You're not getting on a plane like that." So I looked at her and I said, "Like what?" She said, "With those shorts."
Wearing her bathrobe over her outfit, Grayer said her clothes were not revealing.
They said that you can't have the bottom or your butt out. That's why this robe is on. That's why this robe is on, so that I'm not too revealing. If it was a problem with me wearing this robe, I was in the airport for 40 minutes. Y'all should have told me that. That way I could have went and changed my clothes or put anything else on. I'm confused. I'm confused. This is crazy. This is insane.
The voice you hear in the background is Grayer's sister, Jessica Kordaleski. She was arrested, accused of disorderly conduct.
They treated me like a real criminal.
Now out of jail, the sisters are both ready to get back to Chicago.
I'm going home. Getting on a flight and going home.
Did you get
done with Miami? We ain't never coming here again. To Miami at all. Ever.
And just a little while ago, we got a statement from Spirit Airlines saying, in part, our records show a guest was not in compliance with our contract of carriage and refused to comply when provided an opportunity to do so. The guest and their travel companion were eventually denied boarding after displaying disruptive behavior. Now, I did speak to them just a little while ago. They are getting onto another flight, a different airline tonight, to get back home to Chicago. I also asked, are you wearing the same outfit? And she said, no, she doesn't want any problems.
We gonna clap it up. We gonna clap it up for Spirit. Now, Spirit is known as being the most ghettoest of the ghettoest when it comes to the airliners. But one more time, bitch. You guys know how I feel. Multiple times I've expressed how I felt when I'm outside, I'm in Target, I'm trying to get some fucking food from my favorite fucking spot, and a chick walk in there with her ass cheeks out, you can tell she got no panties on, and she stand over you with her fucking coochie in your face. And I'm like, bitch, get the fuck out of my face. Got your coochie right in my fucking face. I'm trying to fucking order my fucking teriyaki and shit, and I gotta look at some fucking fupa and coochie lips over my fucking face. It's a time and a place. Go put some fucking clothes on. I should be able to say, go put some fucking clothes on and get your coochie out my fucking face when I'm sitting down outside and you want to walk over me and stand over me with some fucking fupa and coochie lips in my face. I don't give a fuck how good you look. Go put some fucking clothes on and get the fuck out of my face, man. Y'all know what time. This is that.
Brand new LCP.
Pissing me off on this nice, calm July day. Now, I do want to end this episode, man, but Uber is beginning, to test a feature that they are calling women's preferences. This is where women have the option to select the prompt via app. Now, I believe that Lyft already has this, but the feature is going viral because it is allowing women to select that, hey, I only want a female driver, or a driver can say, hey, I only want female passengers. Again, this is only for women, and this is done to avoid men. Now, I can understand, I'm going to be, play both sides here, because I can understand why some women who might have been, assaulted in the past or have bad experiences to where they might want another woman. I always got to say, man, every man's not like that. And I know that the times we live in now with social media, people always generalize and speak from their bad experiences. So, if you have a bad experience maybe once or twice or even 3-4 times, that can put a lot of people in fear for the rest of their life. And that is something that I do understand. And again, why, I wish it wasn't like that, but let's dive into, I believe, Good Morning America. They was talking about some of these features, and we're going to dive into that shit. We're going to close out, and we're going to get the fuck out of here, man. But again, you guys, man, who stay showing love, who stay supporting your boy, thank you. Like I said, man, these podcasts, these episodes are done independently. So when you guys out there, check in. When you guys, again, one of the biggest and best ways that you can support the podcast is to share. Share the podcast on your favorite platform. Share the podcast. Let your friends, your mama, your auntie, let them know. But now, Good Morning America, let me know. Talk to me. What's going on?
Announcing a pilot program called Women Preferences, where women riders can choose to have a female driver. Also, female Uber drivers can set a preference for booking women riders. It'll debut in San Francisco, Los Angeles, and Detroit in a few weeks. And if successful, they hope to expand this nationwide. Now, Uber has faced scrutiny in the past over safety for women riders and drivers. And the company says the Women Preferences pilot is something that's come directly from user feedback. Women want more of a sense of safety from the app. So here's how it works. For riders, they can request a female driver on demand, but it's only about 1 in 5 Uber drivers nationwide that are female, so it's not guaranteed. Or you might have to wait a longer time if you want that option. Another way to do this, riders can reserve in advance. That gives more probability that the female driver request can be honored. Or the third way is to set a preference for women drivers, which increases your chances of being matched with one but doesn't guarantee it. For drivers, they simply toggle on an option to be matched with a woman, and in case we're announcing a pilot program, we're wondering, men cannot opt in to choose women drivers. So it's a really interesting program. We'll see how it goes.
I think it's been implemented in other countries with great success.
Started in Saudi Arabia when women first got the...
And again, I want to clap it up, but as you heard on that news clip, only 1 in 5 Uber drivers are women. That means that, let's do the math. That means 80%, at least based on the stats that they just said, that means 80% of Uber drivers are men. So now if you live in a city that's, densely populated, like LA, like a New York, I guess even some parts of like Atlanta and, Dallas and shit like that, your chances of getting a woman driver increases. But now if you live in a town that's smaller, you probably gonna still be stuck with a man. So don't think that simply because you opt into that feature in the app that means that a woman driver is coming your way, because when you do the math, it's probably extremely limited that you actually gonna get the driver you want. But you guys out there, man, who stay showing love and support to your boy, again, thank you. Thank you for loving and supporting your boy. This podcast is run independently, so every single support, every single like, every single share, every single time you guys tune in and spread the word, man, it means a lot. So again, y'all know what time it is. This is that.
Brand new LCP.
Stay locked in. And again, you guys can support the follow me on Instagram, which is Lunchroom Chatter Pod. I believe my TikTok is also Lunchroom Chatter Podcast. If you want to come on the podcast, or if you have a voicemail, you got some shit you want to get off your chest, I believe you can click the link in any episode description and you can send a voicemail directly to the podcast. Or again, the best way is through my Instagram, which is Lunchroom Chatter Pod. Hit my DMs, send me a voice note, a voice memo, and we gonna get to it. Thank you. Y'all know what time it is, man. This is that.
Brand new LCP.
And ladies, keep your coochie to yourself, okay? When you take that flight today, I don't give a fuck if you're flying Delta, Spirit, whatever the fuck you taking, Frontier. Put some pants on, okay? Put them pants on. And have a safe motherfucking flight, bitch.